Today's question comes from Priya, who asks, what if all the ice on Earth melted overnight? Well, Priya, besides penguins filing the world's largest collective complaint, the rest of us would wake up to find that beachfront property is now more of a threat than an investment strategy. First, let's address the scale. Right now, Earth's glaciers, ice caps, and polar ice sheets hold about 26.5 million cubic kilometers of frozen water, enough to build a snowman taller than Mount Everest, on every continent, including Antarctica. If all of that turned into liquid by tomorrow morning, sea levels would rise by about 70 meters. That's 230 feet for those who prefer to measure disasters in imperial units. Suddenly, cities like London, New York, Shanghai, and basically all of the Netherlands would be submerged. In fact, the number of people living below the new sea level would rival the population of a small galaxy. Well, at least several hundred million, which is basically the same thing when you're talking about evacuation logistics. Coastal geography would be completely rewritten overnight. Florida would become a memory, Venice would finally be underwater on purpose, and Australia's outback might finally get that beach it always wanted. You'd see brand new archipelagos in places you never expected. Cartographers would collectively faint, then immediately form the world's busiest update club. But rapid ice melt isn't just about wet socks and sudden new swimming pools. Ice reflects sunlight, keeping the planet cool. Lose that, and Earth becomes a giant blue solar panel. Temperatures would rise dramatically, like putting the planet in a microwave and pressing popcorn. Within weeks, weather patterns would swing wildly. The now warm Arctic Ocean would unleash storms that make today's hurricanes look like mildly inconvenient breezes. Monsoons would have existential crises. The global thermostat would go haywire. Meanwhile, fresh water from glaciers currently feeds millions. With it all dumped into salty seas, rivers would dry up and cities would scramble to find drinkable water, most likely by bottling rain or learning to love desalination plants. Animal life? Let's just say polar bears would have a much harder time selling lemonade at the beach than anyone expects. Many cold-adapted species would vanish or desperately try to reinvent themselves as tropical influences. Meanwhile, humans would be staging history's largest game of musical chairs, with every round set to the soundtrack of panicked real estate agents. Then there's the extra bonus round, the shifting of Earth's mass. All that melted ice doesn't just raise sea levels, it actually changes the shape of the planet. The crust would slowly rebound where the ice used to weigh it down, while the equator gets ever so slightly more bulgy, like Earth ate one too many midnight snacks. And of course, this all happens overnight. So tomorrow morning, you'd step out to find your local weather forecast replaced with bring a boat and maybe a snorkel. Google Maps would default to ferry route, and real estate agents would suddenly be selling mountain view as a survival feature. Eventually, new civilizations would spring up on whatever dry ground is left. Humanity would adapt, as we always do, just preferably somewhere above the new high tide mark. So Priya, if you're ever hoping for an instant global water park, just remember, you might want to pack floaties for your next move.